Assalamu alaikum, guys. This is Ali Bakir Khan with another session of Youth Alumni Association. Today we have Iqra Khan again with us. Hello, Iqra. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you, Ali?
I'm good as well. So those of you who are watching it for the first time, just a brief introduction about Iqra. Iqra is a member of Dubai Business Women Council, and she is also a CEO at Talkingly. The best part about Iqra is that she is an entrepreneur who is in UAE right now, and she started off, with scratch. So we would love to hear more about, the topic for today would be how to establish businesses, in UAE or across the border. For example, you're in Pakistan and you're willing to settle in Dubai. What would be the best way to connect with those entrepreneurs? And these are a few pointers that we would love Iqra to throw some light upon these. Iqra, if you can actually go ahead and explain about this, that would be really nice of you.
First of all, thank you so much. And this is the second time we are coming, like I'm going to speak to your community, and I'm happy about it. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
starting the whole thing. And, I hope that these podcasts or these conversations help the entrepreneurs or the youth who is actually planning to start something new, or they have some ideas they want to implement. So the reason I want to speak again today is just to share some information that I have along the way, that what I have learned so far in my journey. So yeah, so as you said that starting business in Dubai, first of all, if you are a youngster, if you are somebody who's just graduated and they have some amazing ideas, and they have started, like they have the idea, but they don't know how to execute it or where to start from.
Yeah.
And if you're planning this idea to be implemented in Dubai, Dubai market is actually very interesting in a way that they really support startups. They
Okay.
really support new ideas. If it's technology based, if it's media based, if it's something creative, they have these incubators here that you just prepare your pitch deck, and it has to be very brief, very smart, and you apply in these couple of like different day. I can name a few 60-day startup challenges there. Then we have In5 Dubai. Then we have Dubai Tech, that's Dubai Technology Corporation. So these institutions are supporting startups.
Okay.
And if you have like some amazing idea, you can have your pitch deck ready, apply with them through the websites, and they get back to you. If you feel like if your idea is really amazing and it will fulfills the requirement that they have, then they accepts you as in the program. And then from that onward, they also offer you an office support, some kind of technical support, admin support. They offer you an office as well. So for example, In5 Dubai is one of the big ones in terms of supporting startups. They majorly work with the technology based startups.
Okay.
And they have like a whole office, and all these startups who are somehow related to e-commerce or design or technology, it's all there In5 startups. So they nurtured these startups, and
Okay.
they made them this way. And of course there are certain fee that they charge, but the fee compared
It's
to
worth
what
it.
you are going to, yeah, it's worth it. Definitely it's worth it.
I
So
understand.
that's one way the startups can, if they are planning to come to Dubai, or if they are planning to start their business here and they don't know how to start, this is like a very, very first step they can take. Whatever your idea is, put it in a deck and start applying, and you might get accepted.
All right, that's right. Now there's might word that a lot of people are scared about. For example, there is a quote that everyone can tell you about the risk, but an entrepreneur is the one who actually sees the reward. This is a very good quotation that I was actually reading a couple of days back. And I thought to actually tell the youth as well that, the word might, just don't think. I mean, think about that you can do it instead of you might do it. So in order to convert the might to the can thing, what do you think should be those strategies? Particularly when it comes to, for example, if a startup, I mean, how big your team should be, what's the minimum finance that you should have if you're looking to come to Dubai? Or would you recommend people to actually come to UAE first, and visit those places in Dubai and get to know the market and then take that risk? Or should they just sit in Pakistan and just connect with these in 5 Dubai companies, or you personally, you are a CEO of Talkingly, you can help them out as well. What do you think? How can they connect? Because it's the world is so busy these days that it's hard to, actually go ahead and connect with those people and interact and get to know exactly, how would we be able to go ahead. So if you want to distinguish yourself, because talking about IT Network Pakistan or any other country that you talk about, they have amazing people. We've got immense talent in the whole world, right? So in order to
True.
convert that talent, and in order to actually motivate those people and show them the right pathway, what do you think, how to find those opportunities and connections in UAE particularly? For example, governments or semi-government industries, are they supporting, or these are the only for example, in 5 Dubai or BTech that you spoke about? I mean, what's the right way to actually convert the might into a can? That's my question.
So that was a very interesting quotation that you just quoted. And as an entrepreneur or a self-starter or a self-employed person, that might should not be there, because if you're going to doubt yourself, then you are not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
And I have started this, in my daily routine, that every day when I wake up, I make sure that all these meditation stuff, that I say such good things to myself that I will not doubt that, it might or it might not. It have to work.
it
So
has to. Yeah,
similarly, yeah, if similarly, if it's an entrepreneur and he have an idea, he have to believe in the idea that it will work.
yeah.
And the confidence itself, it's like 99% done when you believe in it. Um, Having said that, these names which I just took for the institutions, they are actually government supported institutions. They are not private.
Okay.
So In5 is a government based, DTech is government based, 60 days is not government based, that's a private one. But
Mm-hmm.
60 days startup is basically purely for women entrepreneurs.
Women
Like they only
entrepreneurs.
support, yeah, they only support the women business owners and the women entrepreneur community.
So, for example, if a women,
And
yeah, go ahead and complete, and then I ask. Yeah, go ahead.
And then you asked me what was the other part of the question, that
The
how.
how to find those opportunities and how to just make sure that you're finding the right path and connecting them. For example, you
So
told the names, we can scroll to their website. Yeah, the other question was that should they come to Dubai first, or should they just sit
hmm,
in Pakistan and do their research?
that is very, very interesting in terms of I get to receive messages from I would say like job seekers, or even the business owners who are somehow already settled in Dubai. They
Okay.
want to expand here.
Yeah.
And I find it really funny. I don't want to sound arrogant, but it's something, it's a basic business or basic professional thing, that that if I'm living and staying in Pakistan and I'm sending a message to somebody who's outside of my home country,
Yeah.
and expects them to give me the business opportunity while you are sitting there doing nothing in front of your screens. Same as
Yeah.
with the job seekers. They
Yeah.
expect that they don't want to move, and they want to just have the opportunity ready in the plate, so everything is ready for them and
For
they just
example, okay,
land
I'm
here with
just paying you guys, you're the one who are supposed everyone can pay. I mean, we've got a lot of people, investors out there. So, I mean, if I can just pay a certain amount, I would just pay and just say, okay, Iqra, I've paid you this much amount. Now, why don't you go ahead and, just, I mean, you're paying just for the sake of connecting, just for providing the workspace to actually guide in a way that we are not, for example, there are lots of people out there who might be able to misguide you. So you're there to show
yeah,
the right pathway. I think the
yeah.
idea that you have, that would be all yours. I mean, you're not supposed to come up with the ideas as well, that okay, Ali, what you're supposed to do with Youth Alumni Association, this is my idea, I should
Yeah,
know about
they
it.
don't know. They will be like, no, tell us what should we do. And I'm like, you should know that what you are good at, first of all. And then,
Yeah.
I cannot tell you what business you should do. So, but
That's
yeah,
where the
that's the
career
challenge
counseling
there.
part and educational counseling comes as well, that in all the countries, let it be UAE or Pakistan or Africa or America or whatever country you talk about, any person or any youngster who's actually willing to take a risk, first he or she should know what he or she is interested in. Otherwise, there's no point of diving in a pool where you don't even know what you're going to do, or you don't even know how to swim, right? And you're going for a
True,
swimming
true.
you're going to a swimming pool without any reason. So you need to set your goals, and if an opportunity does not come at your door, you are supposed to go ahead and create it. There I mean, because the world is changing rapidly, IT has changed everything, technology has changed
Hmm.
everything. Earning money is not a big deal these days for people who are smart, for people who are street smart. I mean, I'm really impressed by women like you and all others in Pakistan and in Dubai as well, that they're trying to come up with such great ideas and initiatives that they've started their own clothing brands, online, started their own grocery stores. Now, for example, if someone is not at my home to cook food, I don't have to go anywhere and I can just order it through the app. In
Yeah.
Dubai, it's Talabat, I guess, and you can
We
actually
have
order the
Talabat,
home.
we have Zomato. In
Yeah, I
Dubai, actually, there
I've
are so many
visited
cool
Dubai at JBR. I
startups.
still remember, and the Talabat
Yeah.
app was
I
so
saw a couple
good.
of pictures. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you have been here a couple of days, couple of weeks before, or what?
That was back in 2017. But my mother is
Ah, okay.
actually, she was born in Abu Dhabi, and a lot of my
Ah,
relatives, they
okay.
live out there. So Abu Dhabi is really
Okay.
different, and Dubai is different. So people who actually want to go ahead, first go ahead and
Yeah.
visit. At least that the surroundings there. Just visit for fun, and then get back to Pakistan. You would at least know a glimpse
Like
of
there
what
are
Dubai is like.
two ways. There are two ways, there are two kind of people. One is the one who just come here, but they have a backup support that if they don't find anything here, they
Yeah,
have something that they can go back to. And
yeah,
that strategy never works. Like when
yeah.
I came here, I didn't had anything to go back to. So I knew that whatever I have to do, it has to be here.
It has
So
to
when,
be.
for example, job seekers, they don't want to leave their job they already have. They want to come here on visit and start looking. When your heart is not fully into it, you will never find something. And then there are these kind of business owners or the people who have money and they have investment, but they don't know where to
Way to
start or
spend
where
it
to invest
wisely.
in.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
and that's where
So
in Five Dubai or Talkingly or people like you are out there to help them out. Basically, go ahead.
yeah, I basically like I can tell them that which sector they should focus on. Like I recently met somebody from India. The lady was like very super young and
Yeah,
energetic, and she was like, "I want to start some business." And she had like couple of plans, but then I gave her a bit of advice that this is too already crowded. Digital marketing, for example, everybody is doing it. So if you're telling me, you get me a deal and I can get the work done from Pakistan or from India, not going to work because it's very concentrated already.
I
So there
got
are
it.
certain industries like media in Dubai, especially like UAE, creative people are very much in demand. Technical
Mhm.
people are very much in demand. So if you
Creative
have a
people is
business,
a very good thing for entrepreneurs out there. So don't just think if you're not good in IT, you cannot go there.
yeah,
Come up with good ideas, and they would always, because Dubai is a kind of city where, I mean, it was built because of tourism and the whole. If you read the history of
yeah.
Dubai, JBR, when I went there, I think it.
Everybody is welcomed in Dubai and
Yeah,
everybody gets to
and there
find
are,
something
yeah,
one way or
exactly.
another.
Talking about a lot of Pakistanis, I'm not just going to name the taxi drivers, but talking about top-notch
Yeah.
CEOs, they're also Pakistanis, and even from
Yes,
India.
yes.
And there is really good friendship between Indians and Pakistanis, especially when you go
True.
to UAE. It's
True.
a really different culture that I literally observed when I was there.
Yeah.
During my stay at JBR, and when I went to Dera, I mean, it was all a different. Kind of place out there. So there are different kind of places you can, as per your affordability, you can choose what you want to.
Yes.
So
So
this is really
lifestyle
good.
wise
Yeah.
also, Dubai is like, you have if you want to live the best luxurious lifestyle, you can have it. If you want to live a very basic minimal lifestyle, you can afford that. So you will not suffer because of no money, because you can feed yourself with a very minimum amount as well as, and you can go uh, as much expensive as you want. So it
As you
totally
want.
depends.
Okay, Ikra,
Yeah.
one thing that I really liked about the conversation is that we have built up the mind of people who are actually listening to us, that, okay, that there are opportunities in Dubai and they can go ahead and they can now start thinking about it. Now, I'll give them an example practically. Let's, for
Hmm.
example, I mean, this is my question to you actually. Now, you being in Dubai, I started this thing back in 2015, my association, Youth Alumni Association, and this was my own idea. So I
Okay.
would want you to actually explain me, how can I be a better fit in Dubai if I come there or if I stay in
Hmm.
Pakistan, so that people can get to know through my example that, okay, this is how they can also do the same thing. So
Hmm.
since you know about Youth Alumni Association, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me and I'll answer you. Go ahead.
No, I think I know a bit about it. I have did my research on the page and everything. So first step is like if you want to take youth alumni to global level or international level, it's very simple. You don't really need a big staff. You asked me that. I'm going to that point.
Yeah,
Like if you need
exactly.
more people, no,
Yeah.
not really. Like I'm a three people's team, so we don't have it depends what kind of service you are in. If your model is sales based, then yes, you need to hire a lot of salespeople. If your model is your individual, like in events, I don't need a lot of people to be on a fixed salary. I can
Mhm.
always, outsource my work. I can hire project wise. So these are the things you can do. So
Yeah.
for you specifically, if you are planning to come here in Dubai or in UAE, there are so many communities who are working for, different kind of sectors. Youth is there, career counseling is there, women entrepreneurs are there, and then they have their own national community basis. So, for example, Pakistani businesses in Dubai or Pakistani youth in Dubai,
Mhm.
Indian businesses in Dubai. So youth alumni can definitely come here and tag. First of all, start tagging with yourself, collaborating with these communities who are already existing,
Okay.
because these are the people who are not really focused, as far as I know, they are not really focused on youth. They are more into, business owners, businesses and
Mhm.
practical, like
So you think it's
executives
not
and
like the social
corporates.
cause or any social aspect that you're looking at. You should add some commercial angle towards it. That's what your
You
advice
have
should be.
to,
Okay.
you have
Okay,
to,
that sounds fair
because
enough. We are
even if you,
brainstorming, so let's just come up with more ideas. I'm trying to give
I think the
people the
other
example
way.
as well that how they can focus on it. For example, through my example. Go ahead. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, the second point is like, since your subject is more career counseling, then you can always go to the institutions, like educational institutions, and you can give out your, like, on a non-profit basis, you can share with them that this is what you do. Actually, there is a group, Indian group, who are educating people about what you call it, space, and all these planets, and they do non-profit events here and there in small, small areas. So you can start with that, like, you as an individual, based on your community or the youth alumni association itself, you can come introduce yourself that we do career counseling, and we want to do a couple of events. In the beginning, if you have the budget, you can sponsor it from your side, and you
Yeah.
go to these schools and universities and colleges,
Hmm.
and you offer your services. So you start, or you enter the market in that way.
Hmm.
Once you establish your name and once people start getting to know you, that's the time you can ask them, okay, now I'm becoming a brand,
Okay.
so I would like to come to your
Baby
event, but I would like
steps,
you to
step by
sponsor.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah, first you market it out. Okay, sponsorship is something that's fine because I'm doing it for a social cause. Obviously, if I go there, I would definitely invest a certain amount of my money as well. That's not an issue for now.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah.
point in eventually is that, see, I mean, I've got a lot of other things that I can actually spend my time towards, and I can earn
Hmm.
multiple times instead of just focusing on this idea. But one thing that I told you before as well, that youth alumni association is based on a cause that's personally mine, and I am doing it for a social cause in a way that I want people
Hmm.
to, those people who don't have enough, they have talent, but they don't have those ways through which they can go ahead and come up. For example, they're lacking financially, or and my eventually my goal is to give them career counseling for the sake of getting entrepreneurship out of it. Are you getting my point?
Hmm.
That globally, talking about Apple, talking about every top brand that you have these days, they came up with a different strategy. And then
Hmm.
entrepreneurs, they actually went ahead and they created good brands. Like Steve Jobs, if you think about his marketing strategy, it was totally different than what people were doing at that time. So if people would get to know their right interest, only then would they be able to actually go ahead and build, become entrepreneurs. Are you getting my
Yeah,
point? So
that's a very first step. Like, you from your part, your end, you actually make them realize that what their strength is,
yeah.
and that's what career counseling is, and that's very important because in Pakistan, I wish that, when I was there, somebody have told me these things, so I would have started my journey very early. But we have been programmed in a way, even in schools and colleges, that, get this degree and get a good job, get
Yeah.
this thing and get a good job. So job is something that we are revolving around, and I'm very happy to see that people like you are coming up with this idea that there has to be career counseling, and it's very important
And it's
on a very
important
younger
for the
age.
inflation as well. I mean, the inflation that's
True.
going on peak. I mean, if you guys, for example, women, I'm really impressed by a lot of young girls out there who are starting their own brands. They're coming with PR, they're coming with
Yes.
all those
Yeah.
creative boxes. There used to be weddings. I still remember in my childhood when there was used to be, the nikah ceremony and bid boxes.
Yeah.
I never heard
Yeah.
about such, creative bid boxes.
Yeah.
And these days
Now
people
it's
are
there.
spending, lakhs and a lot of dirhams on these kind of things. Specifically, even in UAE, when people get married, obviously they think about it. So why did that happen? Why? Because people, it was a change in perspective. It was a
Yeah.
change in an idea. So we need to change the perspectives of people. I don't know, I would like to mention a share of Iqbal here, and he said that खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. So if you want to actually go ahead and succeed in life, you need to, have that passion, and only then you're going to
Hmm.
do that. What we think are eventually what our goals are, it's just to actually be the biggest tycoon. That's it. I mean, even talking from business industries, I met the CEO of Barize, Miss Seema Ajmal, in Pearl Continental Lahore, and she was telling about her success journey, about how they went ahead. They started from a small town in Lahore. That was Shalmi, or I don't know exactly what area was that, but she was telling me about it. I don't remember the exact name, but they started from streets, and now Barize, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken, it is in Dubai as well. One
It
of
is in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is how they came up, right? They started off with streets, they started off marketing, and today she's a business
Yeah.
tycoon in a way that people know Barize,
And
right?
today, I think one more thing is very I feel very happy when I see all these Pakistani girls doing this influencership and having this, huge Instagram accounts and followers and PR
Yeah.
packages. And to name a few, I have been following a couple of them for like 5 years now. They started with a very small following and now they are stars. And I always tell this that, this is evolution in a way that in Pakistan, nobody can would have imagined a girl is on there in social media doing some transition video.
Yeah.
That used to be a taboo, but now it's happening and it's
Which
normal.
is
And they are
good.
making,
Yeah,
yeah,
which
it's
is
good.
really
It's
good. It's
good.
really good that people are coming and showing interest, and they're changing their mindsets towards different
Yeah.
things and aspects. And this is how we would connect with the world entirely, because people have very different perspectives when it comes to a country like Pakistan. Since I mean, in UAE you meet a lot of people. You meet I think you've met almost all people across the world. I mean, different sects, right? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
people from
Yeah.
UAE are there, but when I went to Dubai, I met a girl from this Gucci brand. And the first question I asked was, "How are you doing today?" And she was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Why?" She said that every next day there is a new person that I meet. And I don't get to see the exact culture of how Dubai is, because Dubai was built, in that way. When you go to
And
Abu
different
Dhabi,
cultures. Yeah.
Abu Dhabi is different, obviously. You see a very good lifestyle, which is actually the main UAE lifestyle, I would say. But Dubai is built. Uh, Go ahead. I think you were about to say
No,
something.
I disagree.
You
I
disagree. Okay.
disagree with that.
Okay.
Abu Dhabi is more like now Abu Dhabi is really focusing on, commercializing themselves or promoting tourism. Now they are taking so many even Pakistani celebrities and Indian celebrities, and they are using them and utilizing them in terms of promoting their tourism. But Dubai is a place where even if you speak to people living in Abu Dhabi, they want to come to Dubai. Dubai is
I
like
see.
life. It's a business hub.
Because of attraction, because of marketing, because of so much money,
Yes,
and
because of
that's one
marketing,
of
I
the
would
reasons.
say. And
Marketing is
Dubai has
one point, and
always,
because I mean, come just imagine, Tom Cruise is there in Dubai, Shah Rukh Khan
yeah,
is there in Dubai, every top actor is there in Dubai to actually shoot movies. So why not Dubai then?
yeah.
Obviously. So
But
Ikra,
then Abu Dhabi, like now Abu Dhabi has really started working on this thing. I think they
commercializing
somehow
themselves.
felt that, yeah, because
They
Dubai
would
ka
feel as well.
potential,
Why? Because the when I was going through the history के जब इन्होंने वो build किया था Mall of Dubai and the Burj Khalifa, so it
hmm,
was actually based on the fact that they needed more revenue, and they spent a lot of money on that. I mean,
hmm.
that's what somebody was
Even
telling me.
now, all the Dubai investment, all the funding that comes from Abu Dhabi. So
Mm.
it's like they have decided that Dubai is going to be fully commercial. Any kind of business you want to do, you can do it here.
And
Like
that's the
crypto
only
and
source of
blockchain
income
and
I think UAE has. I mean, tourism is the only thing that they have, and they built it.
tourism and
And
now
oil is
Abu Dhabi is
obviously there
also
is.
going to.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi is obviously. I mean, so
Now they
this
have
is.
announced this recent. I would like to share this that they have recently announced that Dubai is going to be among top 10 countries who are going to be supporting metaverse and blockchain and crypto businesses.
Okay, because
And we are having,
okay,
yeah.
crypto business. Go ahead. Because I also read that there is a golden visa thing for Pakistanis as well that
It's
they can
been a
apply.
while. Golden
It
visa
has,
is
yeah.
there.
So I'm telling it to people who don't know about it, so they can also
Yeah.
go there and get a 10 years visa. Because I still
But
remember my, yeah,
golden visa have certain requirements.
that's fine. But if they come in future,
It's
they can
doable.
actually go ahead. It's doable. First,
Yes.
it used to be for
Yes.
3 years, and people were really scared that what if after 3 years? But now, if they've got 10 years, even after spending a certain time, I mean, I think it is a good thing. Let's focus on the positive aspect
Yeah.
of that as well. My father, he got a job in Khalij Times back in those days when we
Oh,
were children. Yeah. And the reason he did not
nice.
shift to Dubai was why? Because he was a journalist and he was working in Federal Board of Revenue. So the reason he did not go
Okay.
was because one answer that now today, I mean, when I was young, I asked him this question, why not? And he was like, because I
Hmm.
had a government job here and I did not want
Yeah.
to actually leave that and go to Dubai and then just get back. And, I mean, right now he's getting pension, he's retired and he's all well settled. So I think people used to have certain stereotypes and certain, things during those days. I wouldn't call it stereotype. It was a practical explanation of what they thought it would have been like. So I think this version of golden visa is one good thing that I would like. I know that it's not that easy to get it. There are requirements, but it's not impossible on the other hand as well. We should focus on the positive side. So Iqra, coming towards the end of the session, I would want you to explain your journey a little bit. You did your MBA from ComSats in Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
What city
Yeah.
was that? Karachi or
Lahore. Lahore.
Lahore? Okay, Lahore. So what was the year when you went to UAE? How did you find
Hmm.
that opportunity? And today you are a
Hmm.
CEO, you're a member, and you're just, working so much. You're actually coming ahead with explanations on and podcasts for Youth Alumni Association. So how do you manage your routine? That's second question. And first
Hmm.
question is what happened at that time? Can you share a little bit about that so that we can get a practical example of if Iqra can do that, why not ABC and XYZ? Go ahead.
Definitely. So I came to Dubai back in 2014.
Okay.
That time I graduated from ComSets and then I worked in Pakistan for like 1 year or 2 years. I worked with a media company
Okay.
because my major was in marketing and all of that. Then I came to Dubai with the 3 months tourist visa.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had some family here who supported me in the beginning. My sister was all settled. So I found my very first job, and those people, like I worked for them for 3 months, and they didn't did my visa, they didn't pay me salary, and I had to go back, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like so disappointed. But then you have to, you cannot just give up. So I came back, and then the second time I found my job through LinkedIn. That was the
Yeah.
first time,
Okay.
and that time I was even in that time I was aggressively used to go to these job seekers events and job seekers gatherings.
No, that
There
was in
used to be
Pakistan or when you came to UAE.
no, when I came to UAE. So
Okay.
in UAE in
On a tourist
2014,
visa for 3 months. That's what you're talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So we used to go, like I used to go to these events. They are small gatherings, private gatherings. Like when you are a job seeker in UAE, people really helps you,
People
just like
really help you out.
randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're randomly walking in a metro and then somebody stops by. Are you a job seeker? Yes, I'm a job seeker too. This is my CV. Okay, fine. If I find
Oh,
something, I'll share. This is
I,
the way the conversation used to be.
hmm,
Then I found my first job, which was a nice company. It was a semi-government.
hmm.
I worked for them for 3 years in events, conferences, and then I felt like the growth is not that much. So then I tried again, and then I found another job. It was to Indeed.com.
Yeah, Indeed is really
That's a job,
famous in Dubai. Yeah.
yeah. And it's very effective if if you're using it right for job seekers. I'm telling them, like first of all, for job seekers, I have so much things to share. Like they do so many things wrong, and then they say we don't get a job, and they complain. You really need to fix your CV, put a nice picture, make a nice format. And recently, I got a CV, and then the lady was from Pakistan, and she said, "Did you find anything?"
Hmm.
When I opened her file, the CV, it was like all over. I was like, what should I do with this? So like, going back to that, then I went to this FFS group, which was a food group. It was Saudi based, and I worked for them in marketing for 3 years.
Okay.
And then I felt like now it's time for me to just go. It was a very difficult thing for me to start my own thing, because having that fixed amount of salary and then going to
Yeah.
something you
And
don't
thinking
know.
about a broader perspective, I mean, it's something that everyone is facing, and this is where there is a thin line, and once you cross it, you're just like, bloom.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how you, like a flower blossoms. This is how you would say.
yes.
So okay, now
So
coming towards that point, go ahead.
yeah, so like when I left the job, everybody was like, some of them, my family was supportive, but some people said you still need the fix because expenses doesn't stop. But then I realized, like, the moment you leave and you go into entrepreneurial journey or even self-employment, you have so many opportunities around to make money, and you have the freedom of time, which is everything. So
Yeah.
now I manage my own time my way. I don't start work at 9, but that does not mean that I stop working at 6. When
Hmm.
you're an entrepreneur, you are working 24/7. You
Hmm.
don't have weekends. So
Hmm.
I manage my time. I know that what's my priorities and what's important for me and for my business.
Hmm.
So accordingly, you get to learn that what thing you focus on. And it's not just like, replying to emails, or my manager has given
It
me
was
some
side
tasks, so I
hustle. It
have to
was
fulfill.
those certifications like presentation tips for pitching to investors. That's what you gain, and you
Yeah,
you
that
never
time.
stop
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I if you even for now, LinkedIn is having like so many opportunities to learn online to get these certifications. I'm somebody who wants to learn, like keeps on learning about presentation and communication. Like now I started meeting these startups and investors, and I realized that startups needs to have like a proper pitch decks. You cannot just bombard investors with information. So
Yeah.
keep it very, communication has to be like,
Concise.
short and sweet. Yeah. It has to
Yeah.
be short and sweet. The
Your
message has to
objective
be
should be
given out.
clear. For example, if someone asks me what is Youth Alumni Association, that's what I told you: career counseling and building entrepreneurs out of it. That's it. So a person who is intelligent enough would get to know, okay, why he's doing it, because the goal is this. So also have a goal in your mind. I mean, apart from being like, okay, I want to earn money, I want to just
Yeah.
make sure that I become a CEO. These kind of statements are not going to help you out. Just do something creative and come up with those
Yeah.
skills, because being a Pakistani or being a US citizen or any country you belong from, if you're coming to UAE, you gotta be smart enough, because they are those people who are only gonna hire the top talent, because they don't care what country you're belonging from. They're open,
And then there is another perspective to when you are sending out your business, even your business or services, you need to know that what problem you are solving. It's a very small thing that we feel, but that's very important. You
yeah.
cannot sell your product right away, like I sell this. No, tell them how you are going to help them. Same is with seekers. Tell the
Mhm.
company why they should hire you, what you have that they need. So that
How
should
can you
be
help
the
them?
key thing.
And you're still a learning phase, and this is what you have that can help them
Yeah.
out as well. I really appreciate you, giving your time. So all of those people, listening to us. So in five Dubai, B Tech, then Talkingly, it's your personal
It's D Tech. It's D Tech.
D as in David.
Yes.
Oh, D Tech. Okay, so it's D Tech. In five Dubai, you can go to their websites. You can directly
I
go.
can send you I can send you the link of these two.
I
You
will
can
share it
link them in the
on the
post. Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, definitely, and I can definitely go ahead and link this with the youth. Ikra, anything else before the end you would like to say about the initiative that we guys have taken, or anything that you would personally want to convey to the youth in Pakistan, or anything?
No, I think I'm happy that we're connected. That's number one, and I feel that we can do, because I personally want to do something for Pakistani youth.
Yeah.
And then I found you, so I think we can do some good things together for the youth, and in terms of career counseling, or even
Building
finding them a
entrepreneurs
good
is
job
is
here.
one thing. I mean, we were discussing about many different topics, like how to motivate women to come up and speak. So this is a
Yeah,
platform where we are open to a lot of different ideas, just for the sake of the fact that we need those people to do something in their lives. I was
yeah.
discussing one last thing.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I would just say this, that if whoever is watching this, if you need any kind of support in terms of business formation and getting to know about the Dubai market, if you're planning to come here, of course you are there, but they can also contact me directly through
Definitely.
my LinkedIn. and I'll try my best to help them out in whatever way possible.
Ikra, this is how, I mean, if you can do it, and if just 10 people else, can join out, and there is a group that we guys form together, I think that's where the Michael Jackson song comes in again: heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and for the entire human race. So there are few things in my life that I've read, and I think it's because of the grace of God that, I'm actually focusing on that, and I'm consistent. You are consistent. If people like us and all those who are listening to us, they also start taking these initiatives, it does not matter if there are 10 people or 100 or 20, or I don't care about the number. What I care is that
Hmm.
they're watching it and we are spreading our message. And
Yeah.
definitely, I mean, talking about Ikra, who came to UAE with a 3 months visa, and today
Yeah.
she's an entrepreneur herself. Just imagine if she can do it, why can't us, or why can't someone
Hmm.
else? So thank you so much, Ikra. It was so nice of you again
Thank you
to
so
join
much
us.
again, and let me know the feedback, and then we'll take it from there.
I would take care of yourself, and bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.